What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video. I hope you're all good, and I'm really excited to bring this one to you. We're going to be using Shadow Arcanine in the Master League Premier Cup Classic. So this Shadow Arcanine is a 15, 14, 15. I thought I'd try it out as it's so hard to run Spice in this meta, and this thing actually has quite a lot of play with so many steels and ice types currently roaming around. Now, the recommended moveset on PvPoke has Snarl as the fast move, but we're going to be using it with Fire Fang. This way we can farm down the steel types with fast moves and then have energy for the next Pokemon. And additionally, we're going to be running this in a team with two things weak in the back to Fairy. So we're going to look to bait out the Fairy type and farm them down with Arcanine. The charge moves on it are going to be Wild Charge and Flamethrower. So we're going to have Shadow Machamp as well, and we're going to be using this mainly as a swap. It's a 15, 15, 14 with the standard moveset of Counter, Cross Chop and Rock Slide. So yeah, we'll swap into the Machamp, hopefully bait out a Togekiss. Even if they come in with a Dragonite or a Gyarados, then that's good for the Arcanine, as that doesn't want to see either of them. And then in the back, we're going to have Dragonite of our own. Hopefully we'll do well once the Fairy type's baited out with Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw, Hurricane. It's a 14, 15, 15, because unfortunately I have XL'd my Hundo Dragonite, as you can see there. And after using Dragon Tail for a bit, I've got to say it is a better move than Dragon Breath. So let's get into the battles. I do understand this team is a bit of a weird comp, but it worked a lot better than I could have imagined. So let's see what we got. So first one, we had Gyarados on the lead, so that's really bad for the Arcanine. So we're going to go straight into Machamp, like I said. We did choose not to use a shield here, which is fine. And we're going to go straight for that bait. You're going to see so many baits by the Machamp here in this video. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get up to another Rock Slide. So we're just going to take that shield advantage and go down and hope that we can work something out. So we're probably going to just bring in the Dragonite now. Waiting for the switch timer to run out to make sure that we're not locked in there for longer than we need to be. And now they're going to throw some energy. So expecting that this will be a crunch, which we can easily survive. And then we're just going to look to farm them down, and we're going to keep both those shields for the Arcanine in the back. So luckily we were able to Dragon Tail them down the whole way. So we make a quick swap into Arcanine, and something did pop up, but it looks like they instantly swapped as soon as we went into the Arcanine. I didn't see what it was, but we're just going to look to farm down the Excadrill the whole way with the Fire Fangs. As you can see, it didn't even get to 2 moves. That's how much damage we're outputting, and it's a Tangrowth in the back. Very, very spicy. Didn't expect that at all. So credit to my opponent for running something a little bit off meta. They go straight for the Rock Slide. We're going to go for a Wild Charge. Even though this is resisted, it probably would do a lot of damage to them, but they are going to shield it up anyway, and then we're just able to get to the Flamethrower, and we're going to burn this googly-eyed bush to a crisp. And that's a GG's in the first battle. So both of the back 2 Pokemon were weak to the fire in the front, and we were able to sweep there with keeping both the shields for the Arcanine. So straight away showing the power of that Fire Fang damage. So next battle, we've got Excadrill on the lead, so this is really, really good for the Arcanine. As we've already seen, we can farm the whole thing down without them even getting to 2 moves. We did sneak through a Fire Fang there, so that's even better. So we're going to shield up the Drill Run, and they are choosing to stay in and get farmed down the whole way. I don't think a lot of people know exactly what to do because they're not used to seeing this, and they actually bring in the Togekiss, so that's absolutely perfect for us. Interesting they've done that considering we're resisting the charms. So it tells me they must have something else in the back that didn't want to see the Arcanine, so potentially another Steel type. So we're going to go for the Wild Charge now. We initially went for Flamethrower because we didn't want to debuff ourselves because we wanted to get to that second move. So get both the shields out of them. And now our only option is to come in with the Machamp and try and get to a Rock Slide. I am conscious they're going to try and make a swap, but they come in way ahead of time. And it's actually a Venusaur, so another spicy pick in the Master League and another Grass type in the back. So now they've actually given us the opportunity to win. So we're just going to come in with the Dragonite, and we're going to look to farm up as much energy as possible. We want them to do a lot of damage to us because we don't want them to get much farm on the Dragonite. But at this point, I'm thinking I should be able to just farm them down the whole way and probably get off a Hurricane against the Togekiss, which will be taking out the Togekiss from this range. So another really nice win, and it ends with the Dragonite taking out a Togekiss. You love to see it. I hate that stupid Flying Fairy. Get out of here. So that was a good showcase of Arcanine there, taking out the Excadrill and then getting both the shields out of the Togekiss. So into the next one, Mamoswine on the lead. So this is a good lead for us as well. As you can see, eating into it with the Fire Fangs, and they actually make a swap out after they realise the damage they're suffering into a Gyarados. So we go straight into the Dragonite, as this is the best answer to the Gyarados. Even though they had the Dragon Breath and it's doing super effective damage, we're just still putting on so much damage with our Dragon Tails and getting to the Dragon Claw so quickly. I don't know if you saw that, a massive amount of lag there. The servers are still in a bit of a shoddy state, and we're just able to outpace them to a second Dragon Claw. See if they want to commit their second shield to this. and they are. So they really wanted to win the swap there, but little do they know we've got 2 answers to Mamoswine in the back, so we don't really care about that. We're going to bring in the Machamp, and we're going to look to farm up as much energy as possible. It would be nice to farm down, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to make it. We're going to have to eat a charge move if we want to do that. So I think that's what we're going to do now. We're probably not going to shield this up. Should just survive it, yeah, quite comfortably. And they actually swap into Mamoswine, so that's absolutely perfect, because now we can just get off this cross chop and take the thing out. And then we've got the Arcanine that can take out whatever's in the back, hopefully. Most things in the meta are going to take a lot of damage against us, but it's actually a Swampert. So once again, the final Pokemon, something unexpected. And now we're in a bit of a rough spot, as we're not going to be able to take them out with either of our moves. So what we're going to do is just build up to 2 wild charges, but we're not actually going to make it there. So we throw on the Hydro Cannon, hoping that they threw their energy, because Arcanine does beat Swampert. It has got slightly higher attack, and they did throw, so that's absolutely perfect. We did a nice amount of damage with the wild charge. We come in Machamp, still got some energy, so we're going to throw this cross chop and take the Swampert out, but I think they still have some health left on that Gary in the back. Can we counter him down? Yes, we can. So the Shadow Machamp absolutely going off there at the end, and we were still able to pull out that win, even though we had the Swampert in the back against Arcanine. So that was a really good battle, and this team is quite flexible, which is something that I really enjoyed about it. So rolling on into the next one, and we have another Excadrill on the lead. So this is something I encountered a lot. I saw a lot of steel types and ice types in the lead, so it worked out perfectly. This time my opponent is going to swap out after they throw the drill run, realizing they're not going to make it to another move, so that is the right play. And they come into Gyarados, so we go straight for the wild charge, get a shield out of them, and now we're going to come in with Dragonite. As it's a waterfall Gyarados, we should be able to win this quite comfortably. So they hit us with a crunch, and now we're going to build up as much energy as we can, and then take them out with a Dragon Claw. And then we'll see what they want to bring in, expecting they'll come back in with the Excadrill. So let's have a look. The game lagging quite a lot, is it? Or no, he's just waiting out the switch timer. What am I saying? There's no lag. I'm just so used to the lag. Oh no, there it is. There's the lag. Silly me. So yeah, we're taken out before getting off our energy, which is completely awful. We may have even been able to make it up to a Hurricane. I don't know. But unfortunately, we're looking pretty screwed now. We're going to have to come in with the Arcanine, forced to shield this up. Can we make it to a wild charge? We can. And it looks like we just over-farmed there by 1, and we were trying to throw our move in the middle of the charm, but they made a perfect swap into Excadrill, and that is going to cost us the game. We needed to get that last shield out of them so the Machamp could take the Togekiss out of a Rock Slide, and now we're going to go for the bait, but we're not going to be able to make it to this next Rock Slide, I don't think. They just take us out as we get there, and obviously we have nowhere near enough health to do anything against the Togekiss, so GG's to my opponent. That was really unfortunate. That catch really did screw us up, so well played by them. Into the next one, we've got Dragonite on the lead for Arcanine, so that's absolutely awful. So we swap into the Machamp, and now we see how my opponent wants to play this. He's probably going to stay in unless he's got the Togekiss, and this is the thing, as soon as you swap in that Machamp and they don't bring in a Fairy type, you know that that's probably the best answer to it. So should be looking pretty good now. We just need to get the shields out. Then once again, we bait them with Cross Chop, and they do fall for it. So that's fine. We're now going to let the Machamp go down, and we are looking in a bit sticky spot here. We should be able to farm down the Dragonite all the way, but we're going to be forced to use our last shield, are we? Or are we going to just commit to it? Yeah, we are going to let it go through, and we're just able to Dragon Tail them down before they take us out. So we make an instant swap into the Arcanine, and it's an Excadrill they've got, and they're not swapping out, so they must have someone else in the back that doesn't want to see it. I don't know if they know that we're able to farm them down the whole way because they're over farming, but they're not able to get to 2 drill runs. And what is it in the back? It's a Metagross, so it was the double steal in the back. Are we able to build up to 2 wild charges? It looks like we've made it. We're going to go for this first one, and it's going to definitely be shielded up, and then we're going to be taking them out with the second wild charge. Already getting them well into the yellow with the Fire Fangs, and Arcanine once again sweeping in the back against double steel lions. It's beautiful, it really is. I absolutely love Arcanine, one of my favourites from the original series. So much fun to actually put it to use, and it does really well. So another Excadrill lead, and we are going to be seeing quite a lot of Excadrills throughout the video, but I think this one is a little bit crazier than some of the others. So they go for a drill run, and then they make a swap into Magnezone. So what is the game plan here? I'm not completely sure. So I think with Magnezone we can farm this down all the way as well. I'm not 100% sure. They did go for a wild charge, so we definitely can. And then they come back in with the Excadrill. For some reason we panic, and we actually bring in the Machamp. We should have just committed straight to the Arcanine, but they actually have Metagross, so triple steal team, and they had Arcanine in the front. I bet they are absolutely cursing their luck. We're just going to go for 2 cross drops with the Machamp, and I'm pretty sure they just let this go because they're so disgusted with that. They just wanted the suffering to be over, and Machamp has put them out of their misery. So how about that, a Shadow Arcanine into a triple steal team? Exactly what you want to see when you're running the Spice. So moving on into the next one, another thing that we want to see, and that is the wall rain. So we're going to be able to do a lot of damage to them, and we've got to watch out for that earthquake. So we're actually going to shield this up just in case it is the earthquake, and it was a good call because it did go straight for it, and then they swapped out into a Gyarados. So we're going to go for the wild charge after building up a little bit more energy, and no doubt we're going to swap into the Dragonite. We did leave it quite long to swap out there, so we put ourselves in a bit of a weird position because they're going to be able to get up to 2 moves against us. So we're probably just going to let the Dragonite go down. We're building up to a Dragon Claw, getting this off, see if they want to commit a shield, because this will be getting them deep into the red. They do commit their last shield, so that's absolutely fine with us. And we're able to get up to another Dragon Claw, so they were trying to farm us down the whole way, and that was a bad call on their end because we're able to take them out. So that shield that they used was a complete waste. They come back in with the Wild Rain, and they know that that was such a misplay by them, not being able to farm down, and they just quit. So fair play. I understand their pain there because I've done that many a time when I realised I've made the mistake. So into the next one, we had the Gyarados lead, so that's not good at all for the Arcanine. We brought in the Machamp, and now we're just going to go for the baits, hoping to get some shields out of them. I do find a lot of the times when we swap into Machamp, if it's into a Dragonite or Gyarados, they do stay there, so that's fine. But I think this time they are actually going to switch out. They do switch out into Metagross, and we get a horrendous ton of lag. Wow, that's shocking. And then we're just going to go for the back-to-back cross chops here, which will be getting the Metagross quite low, but not quite taking it out. I'm hoping that we can counter it down and win the switch advantage. So we're not expecting them to shield this up. No, they do let it go through. Are we able to counter them down just before they can? No, we simultaneously KO. So now we're in a weird position. We need to get the Dragonite against the Gyarados, really, depending on what they've got in the back. And they do bring in the Gyarados, so that was lucky that we made that call there. We should be able to get up to a Dragon Claw quite easily and take them out. And it's all about what they got in the back. And it is an extra drill, so they quickly swap it in, and we bring in the Arcanine. And now we're going to shield this up and just get them quite low. But with that little bit of energy lead that they got on us, they may be able to get up to another drill run. So we're getting them deep into the red, and they just get up to the next drill run, and they're going to be taking us out. But we should be able just to farm them down with the Dragonite. Can we do it? We are able to do it, and we leave with back-to-back Dragon Claws, and we should be able to get these off against the Gyarados and take them out. So it makes sense now as to why they brought in the Metagross. As soon as we made that swap into Machamp, they didn't actually have an answer for us, because their best answer to Machamp was the Gyarados, but their best answer to Arcanine was also the Gyarados, so they were kind of screwed. It makes sense as to why they brought in the Metagross, because it was a better answer than Excadrill. So into the next one, Togekiss on the lead. So a positive matchup for the Arcanine, and good for our back 2 Pokemon not to see it. But as is usually the case with Charmers, you can just see how OP this move is, because they're getting us into the yellow again, even though we are resisting Charm and we are Shadow, so we're not doing super effective with our fast move, but we should still be surely getting them down lower. And are we going to be able to farm them down? It's actually a simultaneous KO, so that just shows Charm is so OP, it needs a nerf, it's so boring. So to see what they want to come in with, we come in with Machamp, and it's a Chandelure, so very, very interesting. And then we're going to make a catch right on the Flame Charge into the Dragonite, because obviously this is going to be not very effective, as it is resisted by the Dragon typing, and they had their own Dragonite in the back. So this is really interesting now. We're going to go for the Dragon Claw. We did get there before they were able to get to a move. And my opponent lets the Dragon Claw go through, so that's absolutely fine. We're now going to let our own Dragonite go down, and then we're going to come in with the Machamp and farm them down. We've already got quite a lot of energy. We should be able to get to back-to-back Rock Slides and take out the Chandelure. So that catch on the Dragonite with the Flame Charge from the Chandelure there was absolutely crucial. They let it go through. See you later, Chandelure. It's been nice knowing you. And we did actually go 4 out of 5 there, and we got a nice bug for our troubles, so that's really good. Into the next one, we've got Dragonite on the lead. And we're going to make a swap into the Machamp, and they are staying in. Like I said before, most of the time that we do this, the opponent does want to stay in. So that tells me it's probably their best answer to the Machamp, so they may have steals in the back. So we went for that cross chop bait once again, and they did actually throw up their first shield, so that's perfect. Now we're going to match shields and just probably go for another bait, because more than likely they will shield this up as well, knowing that they'll be able to take us out before we can get to another rock slide. So that's absolutely fine. At least we're going to be able to get both the shields out of them. We could have thrown the cross chop just to do some more chip, but they did take us out just before we could hit it. Now we come in with the Dragonite. We've said this before, we can survive one Dragon Claw, and then we should be able to farm them down, but they make a quick swap in the Metagross to stop us from farming them down, but that is absolutely perfect for us, because now we're just going to farm the Metagross down the whole way, Not even sure if this is going to be an Earthquake. It is enough to get to an Earthquake, so we're definitely going to shield that up, and then we'll see what we've got in the back. We can take the Dragonite out with Wild Charge, and they have a Gyarados as well, and it's a Waterfall Gyarados as well. So this is going to destroy about 3 Gyaradoses, as it is double weak to Electric. Goodbye, Gary. And in comes a Dragonite. We get tons of lag. Does the game want to screw me out of it? No, we do actually get the move, and we don't hit any of the bubbles just because we don't need to, because it's going to do so much damage to it anyway. And that was another good win after a bad lead loss. So Shadow Arcanine once again doing the business at the end of the game and able to seal the win for us. So into the next one, more of a neutral lead to start. We've got these Snorlax here, and I'm really unsure how to play this matchup. Once again, they're just going to outpace us too much to the moves, and we're not doing enough damage. So we swap into Machamp just to bait out whatever they've got in the back, and it is actually the Gyarados, so that's fine with us. This occasion, we're not going to go for the bait. We go straight for a Rock Slide, and I must have been a Psychic, because somehow I knew they weren't going to shield it up, so that's very, very interesting. Now we're going to shield this up, definitely win the switch, get a load of farm by farming down the flying Gyarados, and see what they want to come in with. And now obviously expecting they won't come back in with the Snorlax, which is fine, because then we've got the Dragonite which can deal with the Snorlax, and we've still got some health and energy on the Arcanine, but they do come in with a Garchomp, so they commit a shield to that cross chop, which is really, really interesting. Now we're going to go for another one, and expecting them to go through, but they commit another shield, so that's absolutely mad. I'm really, really confused by that. And they know they haven't got a shield anything against the Arcanine, but they don't know what else I've got in the back. And I do have a Dragonite, so this is going to absolutely chunk the Garchomp to pieces. And they are the Mudshot version, so they're doing absolutely no damage to us with the fast move. We knew they were going to go for an Outrage. Come in with the Arcanine now. We've got that Wild Charge that was pretty much ready to go. This, I imagine, will be taking out the Snorlax. No, it just shows that we're not actually doing too much damage because it's non-stab the Wild Charge, and Snorlax is very, very tanky. But we were able to survive a Body Slam as well, even though we were debuffed. Maybe they did actually undercharge that, trying to get some extra farm. But it doesn't matter. We've still got the Dragon Claw left on the Dragonite, so we're just going to bring that in against the Garchomp, take it out, and say thank you very much, you hammerhead land shark dragon thing. Make up your mind. What are you? Are you a shark? Are you a dragon? Are you some sort of land shark thing? You know, make your mind up, you idiot. Anyway, into the next one, we've got Gyarados on the lead once again, so we make that swap into the Machamp, and we're going to shield this up and then go for the cross-chop bait once again. Are they going to fall for it, or are they going to grow the nuts? Let's see. Oh, they fell for it once again. So once again, Machamp, everyone's scared of the Rock Slide, you know? Yes, the Rock Slide. Everyone's scared of it. That's what I was saying. So we do shield up this Aqua Tail, and now we're going to go for another cross-chop bait, and I do expect they are going to shield it up again. So once again, we fooled them. Are we able to actually hang on and get to a Rock Slide? And we do, so we completely take a dump on their face. Sorry. My apologies to the opponent there. I did not mean to be so vulgar. So they come in with extra drill now. Excrement. And we can catch on the Dragonite with Drill Run, but we're not going to be able to Dragon Claw them down, unfortunately. They store a move on the Excadrill, which is absolutely perfect play, and then, like a complete and total scrub, we go for a Hurricane, which is double resisted against the Magnezone. It does so little damage, and we probably would have been able to get up to 3 Dragon Claws and taken them out. Not only did the Hurricane do hardly any damage, but we also gave them the green light to farm up as much energy as they needed, as they knew that we were energy dry having thrown that Hurricane. So now they're going to have the back-to-back Wild Charges to go against us, and this should be doing a lot of damage to the Arcanine. We just about hang on, but they still have the Excadrill in the back, and they do still have that move that they stored. So very well played by my opponent, and I do think that we had the opportunity to win that game if we maybe didn't throw the Hurricane against the Magnezone, because we may have been able to actually take that out and force them to use their energy against the Dragonite. So well played by my opponent. Into the next one, terrible lead with the Milotic on the lead, so we swap into the Machamp, and we're able to actually sneak through a counter there, which could be quite useful going forward. So they do throw a Surf, and we shield it up, and they come in with a Haxorus. So this is the first Haxorus I've actually seen all season. Last season it was very, very common, for some reason I'm not seeing it as much this season. And they did let the cross chop go through, and as you can see, it's not a very tanky Pokemon. It did a lot of damage to them. They're already in the red, and they did shield that one up, so we may actually commit our shield here to win the switch advantage, because we could have the Milotic up against the Dragonite. We've got to watch out for the Blizzard, but at least with this way we don't have it up against the Arcanine. So we're going to go for a cross chop now, which will do a nice amount of damage, and they actually commit their shield. So what is with people committing their shields to the Machamp's cross chops? Are we able to get up to a Dragon Claw and take them out before they can get to the Blizzard Blizzard. Unfortunately, they make a really good swap into Metagross, but that's absolutely fine because now they've locked themselves in against the Arcanine, and we should be able to actually Fire Fang them down the whole way, expecting this to be a Meteor Mash as they don't have enough energy for an Earthquake, and they hit us with a Psychic, so completely out of left field. But now we come back in the Dragonite. Are we going to be able to farm them down? We do farm them down. In comes the Milotic, and we go for a Dragon Claw. Is this going to be enough to take them out? They're very full on energy. Have they got a Blizzard there? They needed one more, and we're just able to take them out with a Dragon Tail. So really, really interesting that my opponent had Psychic on the Metagross there. Completely took me by surprise, but it just gave us that extra farm on the Dragonite, enough to take out the Milotic. So into the next one, we had a Walrein on the lead, and I think it was a Shadow Walrein as well. So they made a swap out into Dragonite, and we came in with our own Dragonite. And I do like this Dragon Tail matchup against the opposing Dragonite, but for some reason we're over farming like an absolute idiot. We already shielded up one Dragon Claw, and we didn't get off our energy, and then we weren't able to farm them down. So we completely lost out there, lost out to a shield and switch advantage. What a complete melt. So they come in with Excadrill, so now we do actually still have hope in the game. We're able to do over half health before they can even get to a charge move, and now we're just going to salute the Arcanine and say thank you very much, buddy, but Machamp can take it from here. So we're able to get through another counter there, which is so important. We're going to have to call this here. Is this the Earthquake? We shoot it up and it is an Icicle Spear, so that's really bad for us. They're just able to get to a move. Is this going to be the Earthquake and take us out? It's just an Icicle Spear, so we do live it. And now they got the Excadrill in the back. Are we able to counter him down just before they get to a drill run? We do. That's absolutely insane. The opponent loses the battle with 2 shields, and Shadow Machamp countering down everything in the back. An absolute nutcase. You're a mentalist, Shadow Machamp. So that was a great battle. Into the next one, and we were met with a Metagross. So that was really good for the Arcanine. My opponent made a swap out into Conkeldurr, so we come in with the Dragonite, and we knew we couldn't farm them down just with Dragon Tails. So we threw a Dragon Claw, and we undercharged it the whole way, so we can get maximum farm, and just farm this down the whole way with Dragon Tails. Got a Dragon Claw ready to go. My opponent really did not like that. So God knows what they had in the back, but he was really not a fan of that. And we got another bug for our troubles from GBL. Thank you very much, Niantic. You know, we all said, the legendaries are too hard to catch. Please do something about them. Okay, we'll give you none of them. So that's Niantic all over for you. They were like, we're only happy to give you legendaries if it's going to waste all your balls. So back into the commentary, and we had a pretty good lead with the Mamoswine, and they swapped out into Milotic. So we come in with the Dragonite, and we should be able to win this matchup. We just got to watch out for the Blizzard, but where it takes so long for them to get to it, we're just going to go for both of our moves straight away to ensure that if we have to commit a shield, they have to commit a shield as well. So that is what happens, and now we're just going to throw up the shield and farm them down. We're actually going to let it go through. That's insane. Oh, wow, I'm well surprised by that, I've got to admit. So we come in with Arcanine, which is questionable as well. So we've taken a little bit of damage off them already, and they come in with Gyarados. So that's really interesting. I wonder what was going through my head at the time there to let that go through. Probably the fact that we've got that Machamp there. It doesn't matter either way. We're going to be able to just pulverize this Mamoswine into dust, and then we've got the Rock Slide there to take out the Gyarados. So yeah, I must have had it all figured out in my head there. It's because we knew we had 2 things that could take out the Mamoswine, and I just backed that we could actually take out whatever they had in the back with a shield advantage on both of the Arcanine and the Machamp. So they go for an Aqua Tail now, and we're going to be able to get up to a Rock Slide, and this will just about be putting them into the very low red, where we'll be able to cross chop them. Not cross chop, I keep calling it counter cross chop. I do not know why, it's counter. So we counter them down, and that's another good win for the team. And this team was so much fun. It is the most fun I've ever had in the Master League Premier Cup. I'm usually not a big fan of it, but for this season, for some reason, it's been a lot more refreshing than the previous years. I know everyone really loves it. I don't know why. I've never really got on with it myself. So into the next one, Machamp on the lead, and this isn't a good lead for us at all, as we're eating into them with the Fire Fangs, but we're not going to be able to get up to our charge moves at any rate that's going to be able to compete with the spammy cross chop. They don't even need to go for a Rock Slide, and we were trying to be really clever and catch a cross chop on the Dragonite, and instead we caught a Rock Slide. The Machamp's like, eat this, you stupid dragon, and we're like, okay, sorry mate. So we Dragon Tail them down, and they come in with a Metagross. So we're going to be able to get up to the Hurricane and do a fair amount of damage, but this is going to be resisted, and it doesn't do too much, to be honest. So now we're looking in a weird spot, because we're going to have to commit shield to either of our Pokemon, whatever we come in with. We do decide to come in with the Arcanine, so we can build up to a nuke move and hopefully threaten that last shield, depending on what they got in the back. And it's actually a Snorlax, so this is looking like we could possibly do it, but we're going to have to get this shield out of them now. Are they going to shield it up? They do commit the shield, so that's perfect. They could have actually comfortably survived that. And now we've got the Machamp in the back. So we should be able to take out the Snorlax with a cross chop here, and a couple of counters, I imagine. So we're going to go for the cross chop here now, and it should be taking out the Snorlax. And we just got that Gyarados in the back. Is it still? Oh no, it's the Metagross. I completely forgot. And so we go for the cross chop, and we're going to easily take the win once again. So this team, absolutely brilliant. Really loved it. And even in that game where we made the bum swap into the Dragonite and they had to eat the rock slide, we were still able to pull out the win. So next one, we've got Magnezone on the lead. So this is another good lead. But I'm saying these are all like in the space of a few sets, these battles. We were just pulling out all these steel leads. And it was just absolutely lovely. So we were able to farm down the Magnezone the whole way. They did leave with possibly a Mirror Shot stored. They come in with Gyarados, so we're going to go for the Wild Charge, and then we're going to come in with the Dragonite once we get that shield out of them. So we're looking in a pretty good spot now, and we should be able to maintain this healthy matchup. So they go for the Crunch, and they don't get the debuff, which is really crucial. I think if they get the debuff, they are able to farm you down before you can get to another Dragon Claw. I think that happened to me in one battle. But we're just able to get up to another Dragon Claw after they committed their last shield. So now they completely wasted a shield once again, because we're able to take them out and win switch. And they got Heracross in the back, so they're completely weak to the Arcanine. They come in with Magnezone trying to catch or do something, and then they back out. So once again, Arcanine absolutely ravaging the whole team, not able to do much against us. So moving on into the next one, and we've got another Excadrill on the lead. So my opponent makes a swap into Waterfall Gyarados. So we're going to come in with the Dragonite now and look to just go to town. So they do hit us with a Crunch, which is really interesting because most Waterfall Gyarados are going to be running Outrage just to give them that Dragon coverage. But it looks like they don't actually have the Outrage there. So we go for a Dragon Claw, and they actually shield it up, which is insane. We could have just gone for a Dragon Claw and then forced another shield or just taken them out, but instead we're going to just commit our shield and we're just going to easily Dragon Tail them down. So unless they just wanted to get us to match shields with them, that was a bit of a wasted shield on their end. So they're going to come in with Excadrill now, so we make a quick swap out into the Arcanine and they come in with Togekiss, so that's absolutely perfect. We baited out the Togekiss by coming into the Arcanine because it was such a bad matchup for the Excadrill, and unwillingly they've actually just handed us the win because they let that go through as well. They're thinking there's no way they've got another counter to Excadrill in the back, but sorry son, it's your bad luck day, and we do definitely have something that's going to pulverize the mole into nothing, into dirt, back into its hole where it came from, and once again we take the win with the Machamp. Shadow Machamp and Arcanine in the same team, so much fast move pressure. You gotta love it. So into the final battle of the video, and we've got Togekiss on the lead. So we're just going to build up to 2 Wild Charges. We could just throw the Flame Thrower just to force a shield out of them, but instead we're actually just going to commit to the 2 Wild Charges, and my opponent makes a swap out into the Snorlax. I don't know if they were trying to catch, but that was a really bad play by them. So we're able to actually just get off a cross chop, and we undercharge so we can farm them down a little bit more, because we're not going to be taken out by even a superpower. Wouldn't take us out from this range. I don't think so. Anyway, maybe it might have done. Anyway, they come back in with the Togekiss, and we don't have enough energy anyway to get up to a Rock Slide. So we come in with the Arcanine, and we're just going to go for a Wild Charge. And my opponent lets it go, so that's fine. They come in now with a Gyarados, so we're going to go for another Wild Charge, expecting my opponent to shield it up. And they let it go through. What a complete nutter. So what a way to end the video, and what can I say about this team? It was so much fun. I really do actually recommend Shadow Arcanine if you're looking to have a little bit of fun in the Premier Cup and use something a bit spicy. If you've watched the video all the way through, I really appreciate it. Please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like and a comment. And until the next one, you stay angry, trainers.